guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the pay to win account and we are looking at Dolly's Corner. So ultimately we know pretty soon that it is coming to Dolly's Corner. There's going to be a new hero. There's going to be a couple things. So let's go ahead and check out exactly what Dolly is going to have. I'm gonna hop over to Twitter because this actually crashes every time that I use it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what she has to bring. All right, guys, so here it is, Dolly's Corner Volume 11. So it looks like it could be a possible new skin. Might not be, but before we knew it, summer heat has subsided and autumn is here in Esprio, which we know. So there's a big autumn festival which is going on. We've seen the seasonal fruit, which is very cool because we get rewards out of it. The Noble Tavern drinks, the Dragonberry Punch is here. So those are the Dragonberries we are collecting. And then the Ruby, looks like Oxalis. So fruit that is going into the drinks that we are seeing. And what would the party be without having some raspberry cake, guys? So it's got the ingredients, the sageberry and the succulent raspberries. As you can see, a couple other things here that they're doing. But the big thing, guys, is right here. So we have waited for this. We waited for the Celestials, the Hypogeans, the Dimensionals. We've waited on the Wilders. We have waited on the Lightbearers. And now it is the turn, guys, of the Maulers. Stay tuned for the engraving of other factions. We know the last one that is coming is going to be the Greyborn. But next up, we have Maulers. At the end of this, I'm going to go ahead and check out the Maulers. I'd like to kind of recap who I think is going to be good. And then taking a look to see exactly where they land when the engraving system comes out. Now, this is the other big part, guys. So looking at Discord, looking at Reddit, so rumor has it this is actually going to be Leonardo da Vinci or Da Vinci-esque kind of dimensional hero. A lot of people are saying could show up as a Celestial or a Hypogean, really depending. We see a bunch of different possible inventions here, including a flying machine. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what he does or if that's what it's going to be. Speculation is this is the hat, this is the long flowing hair or the beard, and then of course the inventions that are going to bring him. Again, still don't know if it's going to be a dimensional. I'm hoping to see very soon if it is going to be Leonardo or if it's just going to be a hero with similar things, with similar or just a different name. It could just be ultimately a hero, but that is the speculation that we're seeing right now. So top secret, Death Rainier. So Rain is in here as well, guys. Has an absolute crazy backstory, which is why a lot of players are saying they want to see an AFK Arena anime series because they already have the heroes. They already have all of the backstories. And interesting enough, it looks like here, big thing that everyone noticed out of this one with Falks and with Muriel and with Rain is she has both of her eyes. So right there is no mark. Here there is, but it looks like here she still has both of the eyes, which is what we don't see in the game. But ultimately, she seems okay there. Then, of course, this is the other side of it. Muriel, the Weird Witch, the Bounty Hunting Witch, and the Burning Light. She's another hero that I would love to see them take to the Ascended level. Right now, she can only be Legendary Plus, but it just plays on the story of the friendship with Rain, folks, and it does bring Pippa in the picture, which it seems like a lot of heroes are kind of ingrained with Pippa as well. So when she was little, she burned things. At school, she burned things. Then, of course, she went back to her friends, which always felt her very comforting. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at our Mauler heroes. Now, this is the part that I absolutely love because looking at the Mauler heroes in general, there's a lot of very strong heroes. So we're just going to run through the list. Again, we're looking at skills 3 and 4 because that is what is going to be affected, or that is what is effective when it comes to the engraving system. Right here, damage output. So if they could really beef up his attack rating and his haste, could make Brutus viable because right now we know his immunity is the only thing that people use him for, which is interesting enough. His fourth skill, Last Gasp. So his immunity for 8 seconds. Not sure if they're going to extend it possibly to 10 seconds like what they did with Leica, or if they're going to give him an additional ability in here. But That's a long immunity, guys. But in regards to, if you look at other heroes, that's pretty much on par with what Aln is doing, on par with what Albedo is doing. A 10-second immunity would not surprise me out of here. Making Brutus a lot more viable within the campaign. I think a lot more players are going to use him with the engraving system. K-Sauce, the big thing with him, if they put a little more damage here, it's not going to do anything. If they do something with Life Leech here, it's not going to do anything. Life Leech, as we know, the attribute really needs to be changed, adjusted, whatever it may be. Because if the enemy is shielded, the Life Leech ability does nothing. It's not a guaranteed heal. If the hero doesn't do damage, there is no Life Leech. If the enemy is shielded, Life Leech doesn't do anything, which makes it super kind of ineffective for a lot. So K-Sauce definitely, I don't see making a big change there. Same with Verk. Poison vials are good, and then poison traps are good. Possibly giving him a little bit of a longer stun in here. I think this one is just going to be a little bit more damage from the poison, but ultimately, because his ultimate ability can be stunned or it can be interrupted when he's using it, really sucks when it comes to his damage, because they really minimize it with the amount of crowd control we have in AFK Arena right now. Nemitsu, totems, again, offensive totems, he doesn't even need. I'm not worried about the damage that Nemitsu is doing. If they make these totems more viable, as in they don't die very fast, that could make a difference. Now, look out for his plus 60, because this is actually 40 points of haste and 20% attack speed. That's very big, guys. And then haste to 50, normal attack speed to 30. If they give this a buff to haste, a buff to attack speed, plus a longer duration, I would love to see how strong Nemitsu can be with this ability. So that's going to be definitely one to watch. Scrag, if they give him probably a 70% damage mitigation, he'll be right on par with Arthur. Then, of course, Stampede, if they do a little bit more damage, not going to make a big difference there. So I don't see anything big coming out of Scrag. Warwick, the same, shielding mitigation or him doing more damage. Both of those, if they stay true to the abilities, are not going to make a difference at all. Entendre could, just because of the damage she's doing. So if they buff up the damage here, this is going to be really the big one, because this allows the health recovery. So again, they might just buff up the damage. In that case, Entendre probably will not fall into formations, just like we do not see her right now. Sophia is one I want to really look at, guys, because static field, this does a considerable amount of damage. So if they raise this to 100, 110, it could definitely do a little bit of damage. But the other one, of course, is the Spectral Disruption. So we know it's 16, 20, 24. So they could even raise this to damage increase by 28%. That is a very significant increase. In addition, the enemies will have their attack rating reduced as well, meaning this is a damage boost. It's a little bit different because this is actually a damage boost versus it being like an attack rating boost that we see on a little bit of heroes. That is different calculations when it comes to damage versus attack rating, which could make Sophia definitely keep an eye out for her for the Mauler engraving. Satrina, she's another one that I feel is very situational. They might just give her a little bit more damage on both of these, which isn't going to make a big difference. They really need to update or upgrade some of the abilities within here to really, again, make them very viable. Titus, if they're going to give him more attack rating, it could make a difference because this is his crowd control, or if they gave him a longer crowd control. So instead of 5 seconds, if the level 4 ability went to 7 seconds, might make a big difference, and a boost to attack rating as well could make a difference when it comes to players that run Titus. Then, of course, Savagery, again, they could make him just stronger. He has to do more damage, has a little bit of survivability, could work on that a little, but ultimately he does have to do quite a bit more damage to be viable. Which brings us to Drez. Short of the Abyssal Expedition, he has a really good toolkit when you look here, which could make a difference. Life Leech, again, really doesn't do much. They might buff his attack rating up a little bit, but the Life Leech, again, is not really what we're looking for. And then here again, crit damage amplification, and his attack speed is higher. Could be viable. I mean, honestly, but a lot of players do not run him. He starts off as ranged, so he actually uses this little slingshot, ranged until he does, I believe, his ultimate ability when he moves to the weakest enemy, and then he starts doing the damage. They need to change him up a little bit as well. Skarath, gonna see if Sandstorm lasts longer, and then of course, critical insight, making your hero's crit rating higher, which again, if the amplification from this goes higher, especially with the stats, it could make a big difference. Anoki, I feel like the attack rating is not going to make a difference, and the shields with him are not going to make a difference at all. Kren, this would be interesting to see if they do increase the damage on him with the stacking damage. So if they made this to 20-25%, will make a very big difference, guys. And then of course, Concussion Blast here. If they allow him to do more damage, this could be 320, 330 to do more damage with him. Taylor is another one that I think it's just going to be damage and then possibly more damage on the other side with Pyromancy. Granite, he's going to be interesting. So with Stone Skin, it might be able to make him viable with the shields that he gets in here, increasing the value of the shield, also increasing the duration of the shield. Could really be good when it comes to the engraving. And then right here, he does get a significant damage mitigation. A lot of players are just running him for that plus 30 signature item, so he can go ahead, mark up the enemies and die. So that's all he's used for right now. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him as well. Looking at his model, I want to see him work. I want to see him in more formations because he is just such a very unique hero, but they did amazing with the design of him. So guys, let me know in the comments who you are most psyched about when it comes to the engraving system within the Maulers. I want to see Sophia. I want to see Granite. I think Brutus is going to be good as well. And then Kren, I think, might do a considerable amount of damage. He's in some formations now, but it's very faint. So I think the engraving for him could make a difference in the damage that he's going to do. So again, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.